welcome back to the channel and some more Star Citizen Universe news. Now, in Around the Verse this week, hosted as usual by Sandy Gardner, but this week she was joined by Forrest Stephan as Chris Roberts is visiting Foundry 42 in Frankfurt. Now, this week's studio report was from the LA office, presented by Eric Kieran Davis. Now, there was a lot of information, a lot of it technical in this report, so here's some of the highlights. Now, Eric told us that they've been finishing up work on the Drake Buccaneer, checking the damage dates and making sure that it's ready to fly. In fact, we'll probably have a closer look at the Buccaneer a bit later on. He also showed us about ongoing work on the revamped RSI Aurora. He showed us some shots of the cockpit, old and new, and he showed us how the old version looked and also how the new version looked, looking much nicer. Be interesting to see that ship. Now, they've been working a lot on multifunctional displays. Now, they've finished the prototypes for these. These are the displays which are going to be used in all the ships, especially they're going to be very useful for the multi-crew ships, where every player will be able to have his own station on a lot of these larger ships and be able to affect the performance of the ship. So going forward, we'll see some big changes for the displays in the ships, and they'll all have their own functionality. Now, Eric told us that they've been doing a lot of QA work, something they're called sweeps, where they do some QA testing, and he basically told us that some of the longer QA sweeps for the whole game can take longer than a week, so just shows you a lot of work going into QA testing. Now, the engineering team have been working on some data core functionality for shops, which enables them to be streamed in from object containers, and the objective is that the shops will be dynamic through the game and can interact with the back-end services. Now, Eric told us about some more technical work they've done to do with the lighting states manager. Now, that was affecting performance in the Caterpillar, so what they've actually done, they've actually reduced the amount of lighting states which are needed to actually light the Caterpillar. So the performance on that ship, and I guess a lot of other ships, will improve thanks to this piece of engineering. Now, that was really interesting about those light group entities and how they were affecting the performance of the Caterpillar. Now, they've managed to cut them down, so I guess they won't be needing as many of these anymore. Now, Eric told us about some more technology that they've been working on, and this is to do with the atmospheric room system. Now, at the moment, very few rooms have got the full atmospheric room system. Now, this means actually at the moment that when you go into an airlock at Port Olisar, it's actually just a scripted event, and in fact that's why people in the past have managed to glitch through, and you've probably seen them wandering around outside without a helmet on. And this of course means that the player, when they're in EVA, will be able to have their own oxygen system, so you won't have limitless oxygen in your suit. Also, if you get a breach in your ship and you leak out oxygen, well, you're going to have to fix it fast, otherwise you may well suffocate in the vacuum of space. Now, I think we might have seen this before, but we did get a look again at the heavy outlaw armour, which does look very nice indeed, and more excitingly is the female character armour. We saw some, I think, light, medium and heavy, and it's looking very nice indeed. Hopefully it won't be too long before there's a female character avatar in game. Now they've also completed work on something called the helmets.skim format, which basically is unified LOD ratios which stops players' helmets disappearing. I think we've all seen that before, so at least you'll be able to keep your helmet on. Certainly need to get myself a helmet. Now there was also a long feature on the mega map, and that's to do with object container systems, and basically I call it the quick loading feature, which in simplistic terms is what it is, but this feature went into great depth to explain object containers, so if you want to learn more about this, well, I'll leave a link in the description and in the video itself. Now 2.6.2 has been on the PTU test server the last few days and has been opened up to some more players. Now as you can see here, we've got the Drake Buccaneer, which is the new ship in 2.6.2 in my Reverend York hangar. Now other features of 2.6.2 is, well, mainly it's a bug fix, but also the aforementioned mega map is featured for Arena Commander and Star Marine. Also there's also some additional track IR and 21.9 aspect ratio monitor support, and evidently both those things are working very well. Now the Drake Buccaneer does look very nice indeed in my hangar, but let's have a look at the Drake Buccaneer in its natural space environment. Now I've been flying the Drake Buccaneer in the PU, and I'm very impressed with how the ship flies. They certainly do a great job with the new ship pipeline in manufacturing these new ships. Now it was interesting to read on Reddit, and they quoted a Spectrum post by Matt Sherman about the Top Gun turret, and how in the original design it is supposed to be able to fire backwards, and that is going to be the case in future. At the moment they've just got it working, but in the future it's going to be able to fire backwards, so enemies behind will get a taste of those guns on top. Now I'm not sure how you're going to be able to control shooting behind. I guess you'll get a little targeting screen via key, but I thought that was fairly interesting, and obviously it just goes to show that the Drake Buccaneer is still a work in progress, but it looks very good. And I also had a go in Arena Commander as well. I was less than successful because I'm not really a great pilot, but I enjoyed my time, and I also had a chance to see some of the great new damage state effects for the Drake Buccaneer. Now Happy Hour this week was incredibly interesting. If you've got the slightest interest in how games are created, programming, how to use the Lumberyard engine. Now, it was in the hands of an expert, and Kalex Renault attempted to create in less than an hour or so a shooty hoops basketball game. Now, as a level, he actually used what was revealed recently, the Javelin cargo bay, where there is a basketball hoop. Now this is absolutely huge, and we got a closer look at how big the cargo bay of the Javelin is, and we'd already seen the air hockey tables as well in last week's video, Anyway, it was really impressive how Kalex went about his business. Now, this was pretty technical, but bearing in mind that you can actually download the Lumberyard engine yourself and have a go at some basic game creation. And I'm sure some of you out there are more than capable of doing that. And I'm definitely not.
That's basketball.
Well, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, and also it will help the channel a lot if you could subscribe. So until next time, wherever you're watching out in that big universe, you take care, and I'll see you all sometime soon. Bye for now.